What can we expect on the markets as Easter weekend is fast approaching? Welcome to this week's AMT Fresh Produce Overview. In these videos, we take a deeper dive into the fresh produce market prices and also take a look into the crystal ball and discuss where these markets are possibly headed. All in this week's episode made possible by Nedbank, so don't miss a second. Starting with potatoes, as usual, the average national price of potatoes increased last week to R60.65 per 10 kg. Large potatoes increased to 75, medium potatoes increased to 56, and smalls traded higher on R36 per 10 kg bag. In terms of varieties, mondial prices also increased to R60, while the Sifra price jumped to R63 per 10 kg. The average class 1 price on all markets traded higher on R64.93 last week. For now, we expect volumes to stay on a relatively higher level and the average national price therefore to remain around its current levels. The higher demand expected towards the Easter weekend can result in slightly higher prices, but higher volumes can keep this upward movement mostly in check. The average national onion price decreased to R61.07 per 10 kg last week due to more volumes reported on the markets week on week. Brown onions dropped to R61. Red onions, however, stayed on R74, while the average white onion price also traded sideways on R64 per 10 kg. Large onions traded higher on R64. Mediums, however, decreased to R62, while smalls also fell back a bit to R60 per 10 kg. The Northern Cape volumes are down and will most likely finish up within the next week or so, but the Western Cape is stronger in the market at the moment. The Vivodendron area wanted to enter earlier into the markets now, but the rain halted their progress a bit. So expect volumes to drop further over the next 2 weeks and prices therefore to remain on a higher level. As expected, tomato prices jumped sharply the past week due to higher demand, but also volumes that decreased by about 23% week on week. The latest national average price traded 64% higher on R19.39 per kilogram. Large tomatoes traded at R25.95, mediums at R18.97 and smalls on R18.01. The expectation is that prices can get some resistance at these extremely high levels and trade sideways or even slightly lower over the coming week. We also expect more volumes to enter into the markets and demand that can drop a bit, which can then put more pressure on tomato prices, especially after the Easter weekend. Carrot prices decreased slightly the past week to R7.60 per kilogram, but remained about 15% higher than a year ago. The total volumes the past week were also 25% lower than what we saw a year ago, thus keeping prices on its higher level now. Large carrots traded on R8.29, mediums on R6.24 and smalls slightly lower on R9.26 per kilogram. We are expecting carrot prices to stay on a higher level until Easter weekend due to higher demand and volumes that will most likely remain on this lower level. The average pepper price increased by 2% to R15.13 per kilogram. Green peppers traded higher on R16.16. Yellow peppers, however, traded lower on R15.21, while red peppers decreased by 29% to R10.83 per kilogram last week. The average price is still 3% higher than a year ago, but we are still expecting it to decrease further as we head towards the middle of April. During May and June, we expect these average prices to stay on a lower level as well. Cabbage prices traded higher on R3.24 per kilogram. Garlic prices increased to R59.91 per kilogram, with locally produced garlic now on R46.50, while imported garlic also traded higher on R87.07 per kilogram. Spinach prices decreased by 21% to R8.36 per kilogram and is now about 70% higher than a year ago. Sweet potato prices decreased to R6.62, pumpkin prices decreased to R3.06, butternuts traded sideways on R4.61, green beans dropped to R19.47 per kilogram, while cucumber prices increased to R10.80 per kilogram. Interesting to note is that beetroot is currently very scarce on the market and demand for it is very high, which is forcing prices sharply higher now. The average beetroot price on the market traded on R13 per kilogram last week, up from R7 last year this time. For a deeper dive into these and other market insights, be sure to download our latest reports available for free at amtrends.co.za. Shifting our focus to the fruit markets, the average banana price dropped by 13% to R9.89 per kilogram or R178 per 18 kilogram box. This price is still 3% higher than a year ago. We are expecting prices to drop further this week due to lower expected demand over the school holidays. Apple prices dropped by about 5% to R10.31 per kilogram and is still 22% higher than last year this time. We are still expecting more volumes to gradually push prices lower over the next 2 months. The pear price dropped by 15% to R6.95 per kilogram and can remain on these levels for now. Orange prices decreased by another 23% to R5.81 per kilogram, but is still about 14% higher compared to a year ago. We are expecting orange prices to stay in this downward trend for now, and that lower juice prices or orange juice prices this season can result in prices to trade on a lower level compared to last year. The avo price dropped by another 2% to R10.03 per kilogram and is now 9% lower than a year ago. Variety-wise, Feetaste traded sideways on R12, Haas traded on R6.50, while Pinkertons dropped sharply to R11.79 per kilogram. I think the avo price can stabilize around these levels and then stay around these levels for the next month or so. The average grape price traded on R25.25 per kilogram last week. Pineapple prices dropped to R11.48, lemons decreased to R6.52 and can stay in a downward trend for now, while blueberry prices traded 21% lower on R170 per kilogram. This video was proudly brought to you by Standard Bank. For more detailed market insights, visit our website at amtrends.co.za, where you can also download our latest reports for free. Don't forget to join our growing WhatsApp community for exclusive updates. Just follow the link in the description below to stay connected with the latest trends and insights. I'm Dr. Johnny van der Merwe. Thank you for watching and remember to tune in next week for more on the South African fresh produce markets.